What's going on, you guys? It is Coach Ike, and we have an exclusive interview with Derek Ganter Jr. This is a young man who is currently at Eastern Washington University. You guys be on the lookout. I can't say up and coming because I know about it, but you guys are just going to find out shortly. Derek, man, appreciate you being on with me today.
Sorry, sir. Thank you for having me.
So, Derek, I want to ask you some questions, man. We have a relationship, we talk all the time, but I want people to understand this whole dynamic of, being an athlete, being a entrepreneur, because that's what we are. We are now entrepreneurs. Once we're in college, we're our pro athletes now. Okay. So before we get into all the things of what's going on with you currently, I want to ask you, how was it your first year you just completed, about to go into your second year? How was that first year of college for you, man?
Um, it was different. I would say, you know, especially going in as a freshman, like a lot of people give you advice and tell you how things are gonna be, and you kind of don't really like think it's gonna hit you being far from home. And I mean, it really didn't hit me at all until once football was over, once this actual season's over. But my first year, it went good. I mean, honestly, I enjoyed my time playing and being up there, and it was a good experience, good first year that I had. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people don't understand, like, oh, I get this scholarship. It's a blessing, definitely is. But there is a transition that people don't talk about, especially if you haven't been away from home, especially for a long period of time. So I definitely know what you mean. Going to school in Tennessee, I definitely feel you on as soon as football is over, it feel like a void is going on. All right. So I wanted to ask, what are the top three differences that you notice from high school to college now?
Oh, yeah, high school to college. Okay, football wise, I would say, I mean, just game planning and realizing how critical alignment and assignment is.
Mm.
Uh, I realized how critical that was. I mean, you realize that the first day you mess up
Yeah.
where you're aligned or just what you're supposed to do, that's a touchdown, like
Mhm.
immediately.
Yes.
Um, and then I want to say the accountability part, that's just on and off the field. You really do have to become like your own, like you have to be on top of your own business. There's nobody coming to save you, whether that's showing up to class meetings or whatever. And then third, I just say, oh, well, food wise, I would say definitely, yeah, feeding yourself, and that's that's a big thing as well.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're giving yourself the right things, but then also managing what it is that you're eating and also how much it is too. So
Now it's not like having that food plan. You can go in there at any point in time, but like you said, you got to manage yourself and eating the right things. I remember when I first stepped on campus, before any weight training or anything, I gained 6 pounds in like 2 weeks just from being in that cafeteria. So I definitely know what you mean right there. So I think that's important because a lot of guys, especially parents, they talk about the process, and you mentioned it, like what's going to happen when you get up there. For everybody, it's different though. High school, depending on what program you're in, you can be close to that college atmosphere, but nothing quite gets you ready for it.
yeah,
So, you have started your football career not at your position you play right now. You played linebacker most of your years, got into high school, even played linebacker. You then made the transition to safety. How has playing both positions helped you now, though, and playing safety in college?
yeah, I would say starting off at linebacker, um, my mentality definitely was just downhill um, and filling gaps. I
Mhm.
mean, uh, and knowing a lot of that stuff back then. definitely helps now when I made that transition and I got with you, because I didn't play a lick of, I never got a back pedal until I met you, and then that's when it started. And once that started, I mean, that safety, because safety is such a versatile position. I feel like nickel and safety, you got to fit the run, but then you also got to guard the fastest dudes on the field.
Yeah.
And so being a linebacker in the past, it just helps knowing, and just also just being a safety now, just knowing what the dudes in front of you are doing, it slows the game down, and it's a big difference.
Yes. I think your key strength was you was already physical by the time I met you. So I didn't think that was going to be an issue. But I think what helps you even more, like you said, you understanding what the guys, the linebackers, the D linemen, where you fit in. So that gives you even more advantage over other safeties because they may have never been in that position. So I think that's where you definitely excel. At the same time, you have the different forms of the IQ, because playing backer and safety, I think that's very positive for you. Now, when we met, I mean, I want to say like 4 years now that when we start working out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How have I assisted you in your journey so far with what you got going on?
Yeah, when like I said, when I first met you, I never got into a back pedal a day in my life. And I think though what you did for me, you realized how fast I could learn. And that's something that you do, just also just getting in with other people, something that you're really good at, that I've seen. You see how people capture things. So you realize how I understood things. And then once I started taking your coaching and realizing all the stuff you're telling me, you just explain things to a way where it made sense, where I mean, you wouldn't have to say a full sentence for me to actually understand it. Like and also just having you as my high school coach as well. I mean, that also, that was I mean, just a blessing to have you as a trainer and high school coach.
Yeah.
Felt like I was in a great position. So, and you understand the game. So it's like, even like now when I come to you, you don't know what we do in Eastern Washington, but then you come, you ask me, oh, what coverages are we in? What do you want to work on? And
Yeah.
all that. That helps. So it never felt like whenever I came, or whenever, even now, when we work out and train, it's never like, oh, I'm just doing something just to do it. Like everything applies to something on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember I told you and your dad, I said, look, if y'all come here, because we was at Arcadia, I said, y'all come here, I guarantee you're gonna be in a position where when you go to the next level, you're gonna be knowing the exact same coverages that they doing. So, I mean, that's the whole thing, getting you guys ready for the next part. Of course, you guys, you're physically gifted, you already have all the ability. How can we separate you when you get up there though, where you able to make a mark? And that's the whole thing. And for you to be coachable and understand that thing, it just makes it easier on my part. So I want to get into now, because we just talked about this recruiting process. Okay, you have been through it. You see how it is. You understand it, and it still might change because the portal and everything is still new. But what insight could you share with the younger guys in high school on what you would do differently?
Uh, well, yeah, something that I think I would have did differently. I mean, put yourself out there. I felt like early on in my high school career, I wasn't out there.
Yeah.
I was just playing the game, and I didn't really uh understand that. And then once I mean, I made it very clear to my dad what it was that I wanted to do. And once he understood that, that's when he put me in a better position to, and I met people like you and Coach Twan, Coach Lance, and everybody. And but yeah, put yourself out there, go to camps, and I mean, don't don't be nervous to get up there and get better. I mean, that's all it is at the end of the day. Uh, one rep can literally change something, whether it's good or not. Like, I mean, nobody cares really about the bad if you go to a camp. They're just gonna say, okay, next.
Yeah,
But if you do something good, it's like, oh, he got my attention.
exactly.
So yeah,
No, I
just
think that's
to get out there.
I think that's key what you said. That exposure is real big. Now, transitioning now to back to Washington, Eastern Washington, share what is your biggest challenge at the moment on and off the field? What do you feel like, man, if I get this right, and it can be mentally, physically, whatever it is, what are the biggest challenges for you on and off the field?
Yeah, on the field, I would definitely say, well, early on, I would say just understanding the playbook. But yeah, we got a new defense coordinator, so our whole playbook changed. But so that's always going to be a change. But right now, I just say being more mobile. I just want to be able to, I guess, move a lot better. Not like we'll always get faster, but I just want to be able to move in certain ways. And I think that you could do that by just watching highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch people and you just see how they move or how they make plays, then you see, okay, yeah, you can make a play like that. I think that's critical to something. So just something like that. And then off the field, I think my time management is very good, I feel like, but people don't realize how key you have, like how much time you have in college. Like, especially when school's not going on, you have a lot of time outside of football. So, I mean, just, I feel like if I could do a lot more, and I could do a lot more with my time than what I do now. But I think that's the difference between myself and others is how you manage your time when you're off the field.
No, what you just said, man, that is super key because that's a in general. I got a little mama say hi, say hi. um, I think that's key because even outside of football, time management, whatever you do with your time, most of it is what kind of person you're gonna be, and people don't understand that. And that's a huge gem, man. That's powerful right there. I want to ask you because we completed the first year, you redshirted. And you still play, but a lot of people don't understand how does the red shirt work. So explain how it works in your situation, and then also explain like your thought process during this whole first year for you.
Yeah, so I mean, always going in, I mean, just the competitive person in me. I've never been just to go in and sit on the bench and kind of just be on the team type of guy. I mean, my parents have just showed me growing up, if I ain't playing, they ain't come to the games. That's just how it is. And so going in, I always train and play to be the best. That's just what I wanted to do. So going in fall camp, my freshman year, uh, I understand I'm nobody now. I mean, it's you back at zero. So you just gotta climb up the ranks. And I showed them I can make plays. And unless you show that you can go on that field and start right now, immediately, they don't want to burn that year for you. Because further down the line, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I played, but if I only got 20 snaps a game, and now you at later on in your career, it's like, oh, okay, now you just wasted a whole year that you couldn't get back. But yeah, going down the year for me, the first couple of games, I traveled, suited up, and I ran with the ones and twos during practice, but coach just didn't think I was ready to get in there yet. And then as our season got on later on in the season, we took a couple of L's, and it kind of realized like, okay, well, I mean, well, let's give him a shot now. I mean, we don't really have nothing to lose, and I got in my first game, and I made plays, and yeah, after that, I started the rest of the season, uh, and then the season was over. Well, actually, no. So I started after my first game, I started another 3 games. And then that's when I found out, okay, well, we got one more game. So I played 4 games already. You only get 4. And then once they discussed it, they're like, yeah, we don't want you to play in one game, and that trigger a whole year of eligibility for you. So I ended up just practicing that week and then sat down the last week of the season. So I went and burned a whole year. So technically I'm still a freshman.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you had some other teammates who were red shirt or whatnot. How do you feel like they attacked it? Because not everybody attacked red shirt in the same way that you attack it.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, I feel like some people, you go in there, you know what I mean, when you first put the pads on, as soon as you get somewhere, it's fresh. Like everybody's gonna give their all. And then as you get down the line, you kind of see where the depth is at, or the coaches let you know. And some people, that could be motivating, and some other people, I mean, they're just like, they're cool with it. Like I said, some people are cool with it and like, oh, okay, well, I got a whole year, next year. And some people take that as all right, well, I mean, I'll just develop and get better. I mean, for me, like I said, the competitive person in me and the person that wants to be the best, I'm just like, man, I could still go out there and play. Like, I mean, the season is not over. And I think that's the difference. And you can see that with younger guys, and just even with transfers who haven't burnt the year, you can see that if they don't think, if they don't think that it's going to work out for them, some people kind of tap out, honestly, and others don't. And it all translate at the end of the day, honestly.
No, that's definitely key. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, because when I was in school, going from JUCO to the university, mainly JUCO players, for the most part, you come in to start. So that was my mindset. But we would have freshmen who would, they be good, but you can tell their mindset was like, oh man, I'm redshirting. So it went from like competing to, oh, I'm going to be redshirt, to now they showing up to practice, not fully locked in. They partying more, which you enjoy college, but your mentality, I'm sitting. But what I seen though, that following year, they couldn't get out of that mindset, like, oh, this is my year to really. And then they wait till their junior year, senior year, you might have 2 years. At that point, you was like in JUCO. You were sitting down for 2 years when really you could have had that mindset, like, I'm coming in and I'm going to play right away after our red shirt. And I mentioned to you all the time, Kevin Byers, who now plays for the Chicago Bears. I saw the mentality. He was going to be red shirted every day in practice. He picking off balls, making the coaches mad on scout team. He said, I'm not changing. And now you can see he's one of the best safeties in the NFL. So for you to have that mindset, that's great, man. So let's talk about like what's going on in college football. We know the whole landscape as far as NIL, transfer portal is here. What do you have some stories, and what can you share about what you've seen from friends or your own teammates about this transfer portal NIL?
Yeah, I mean, being a lower FCS, a smaller Division I school, is people don't realize. I mean, it all ties in together, but it is different. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're just not Eastern Washington isn't Alabama. That's just the truth of it at the end of the day. So we don't get the benefits as they do, like as much as they do. But yeah, things that I've just picked up on. I mean, you really are your own. Like I said, I mean, about camps and with the recruits. Like, I mean, it's the same thing when it comes to this. If you don't put yourself out there, I mean, nobody's really going to reach out to you unless you one of the top dudes making plays and you all over the papers, everybody talking about you. Nobody's gonna reach out. I mean, if you don't endorse yourself, then it's just not gonna happen. And then when it comes to like the portal, I mean, I didn't seen people get offered bags. I mean, if you could play them schools, I mean, I don't know if they say it's not legal for for them to talk to you while you still at the school. But I didn't seen some I done seen some crazy text messages and crazy calls over it. I mean, I ain't even been in college that long, but yeah, nah, I know I got a couple friends and teammates that have been offered some bags since they hit the portal. So yeah, I know.
I think it's good because for people that hear these stories and they're like, they don't know how true it is, but for you, to hear you share this information with them, like, oh man, this is real. Like, this is really going on. I got two more questions for you, man, and I'll let you go. So my question before I let you out is, season is upon us, about to enter camp. What are some goals that you have for yourself this year?
Yeah, so yeah, that's something I identify. I made my goals. I mean, as soon as season was over last year, but I want to get at least 5+ interceptions or turnovers this year. That's a big goal for me. Always to stay healthy. That's always a main goal of mine because I feel like, I mean, your best ability is availability at the end of the day. And then, I mean, I'm trying to be a freshman All-American. I'm gonna be honest, freshman All-American, all conference. I mean, I made it known I'm trying to be the best. I mean, I don't really care where you come from, where you at. I mean, anybody can get it. It don't really matter. I mean, that's what I'm about. So.
Now, speaking into existence, and we know, me and you, we know that you have the talent, and definitely, I know it's gonna be a show, and I can't wait. I definitely can't wait, man. My last question. Um, support. It's some things as a player that, on the outside looking in, people see, they think our lifestyle is good, being in college, whether it's pro, whatnot. How or who do you share with, like, what's going on mentally if you are not like where you want to be because of environment has changed, or things just aren't going the way that you would want? Who are those people, or how do you manage that mental health, as people want to say now?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I said, just when I got up there initially, like you realize how far away you are from home. You can't talk to everybody all the time. I mean, they say you're a call away, but I mean, sometimes you really just can't pick up the phone. Truth of it. But yeah, I got 3 teammates now that I room with. They're from the IE, so they're not from too far away. But we all kind of think alike. So I know I could talk to them. And then also some of my teammates and I, we get together, we get like a Bible study every now and then, just to, always share the word with each other. And also, I mean, it's just an open space, honestly. I mean, sometimes we get in there with the Bible, we don't even talk. I mean, we just be talking to each other. And then also I got my mom always. I just gotta talk to moms. I mean, that's something I feel like being away from home strengthened my relationship with my mother. I mean, I don't know how that works, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely could talk to my mom like how I don't, like I haven't been the way I talk to my mom now. I couldn't do that in high school. So I don't know if that comes with age or just being far from home, but I mean, yeah, that's just the truth of it.
No, I think that's awesome, man. The things that you shared, and I think people can take that away because, like I said, it's a lot that we go on as student athletes, and from social media, they might see the wins, but mentally, we're fighting something which we all fall short in areas. But when you have a community of people, families or friends or teammates, it's just so much better. And I appreciate you sharing that, man. Man, Derek, I appreciate you sharing your wisdom, your insight with us, man. Best of luck to you this year. We tapping in before you go. Any last words that you want to share for the young guys in general?
I mean, yeah, I mean, anybody out there, I mean, if going to college is a goal of yours, I mean, just keep working. It don't matter where you at. They told me I couldn't make it happen where I was at. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, we made it happen.
Mhm.
Just work, get better. That's it. That's all that matters. All you can do.
Nah,
Yeah, appreciate you for having me.
no problem, man. No problem. And we're gonna have you on more after probably mid-year, after the year two as well. You know, we always want to check in to see how our guys is doing and tap in, man. But Derek, appreciate you, man.
Sir.
I'll talk to you.
All right, coach. Appreciate you.